Some people are not meant to finish things. That is not the insult you think it is. Maybe you're not a finisher. Maybe you are a starter. You see possibilities before other people see anything. You walk into an empty room and imagine the business. You hear a half-informed idea and immediately see how it could work. You create energy, you make the first move. You turn someone should do this into I've already started. That isn't a character flaw. That's a genuine strength. The problem begins when you expect the same brain that loves exploring possibilities to also enjoy maintaining systems, checking spreadsheets, and fixing page 47 for the sixth time. That's like hiring an architect, then getting angry because they don't want to lay every single brick personally. The architect wasn't useless. You gave them the wrong job. Some people are naturally energized by initiation. They're curious, imaginative, usually comfortable with uncertainty. Give them a blank page and they'll come alive. But once the path becomes predictable, their attention starts looking for the next unanswered question. Other people are built differently. They don't necessarily love the chaos of beginning. We give them a clear objective, a deadline, and a half-built machine, and they'll quietly make the thing work. One person lights the fire, the other keeps it burning. We've somehow decided that the second person is disciplined, while the first is unreliable. But without starters, many finishers will have nothing to finish. And here's the ridiculous truth. Your inability to finish everything may be evidence of a valuable ability used without structure. You may not need to completely change your personality. You may need to design around it. Steve Jobs didn't personally assemble every iPhone. Film directors don't sew every costume, operate every camera, or edit every frame. Their value comes from vision, decision, and directing other people's strength towards completion. That doesn't mean starters get permission to abandon every difficult task. There's a difference between being naturally good at starting and using your personality as an excuse to avoid discomfort. Some things are still yours to finish. Your commitments, your promises, the essential work only you can do. But believing you must personally carry every idea from imagination to maintenance in how talented starters end up surrounded by unfinished projects. I'm ashamed of the very trait that created them. So stop asking, how do I force myself to become a completely different person? Ask, what part of this process genuinely needs me? Maybe your role is generating the idea, testing whether it works, creating the first version, building momentum, then documenting it clearly and handing it over to someone who enjoys refining, organizing, completing. That handover isn't quitting, it's completing your part. But there's one rule. A starter must learn to build bridges, not leave wreckage. Don't disappear when the excitement disappears. Create a finish line for your stage. Define what ready to hand over actually means. Capture the decisions. Organize the materials. Then deliberately pass responsibility to the right person. Because being a starter doesn't mean scattering half-built dreams everywhere. It means becoming excellent at turning nothing into something and wise enough to know who should take it from something to finished. Maybe you are not supposed to become the person who loves every final detail. Maybe you are supposed to partner with that person. Some people are not meant to finish things, and that's not the insult you think it is. The world needs people who can complete the journey, but it also needs someone brave enough to discover the road. The problem may not be that you are incapable of finishing. The problem may be that you keep judging the explorer for not wanting to become the maintenance department.